What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I have something incredibly special. I know normally I shoot a lot of hypercars, but today is really something that I guarantee you none of you have ever seen. It is the world's first exhaust system on the Ferrari LaFerrari right behind me. So let me talk to you a little bit more about what's going on with this whole car, what actual mods have been done, before we get in later and do some revving and all that sort of stuff so you can actually hear it. So first, let's do a quick walk around. All right, here she is. This is the big girl, guys, the LaFerrari hybrid hypercar from Ferrari. Around 953 horsepower, I think. But this specific car is being worked on by Newport Tuning Group out of Newport Beach, California. They're a new company. They're very experienced. They have a lot of high-end people working with the exhaust and ECU tuning side of things. So definitely look for them, guys. They're doing huge cars like the LaFerrari, Pagani Huayra BC, Koenigsegg, all that sort of stuff. So this LaFerrari is a world exclusive, the very first one with a full exhaust system as well as a tune. So the tune, it isn't finalized, it's still being worked on because it's a pretty complicated car to work on with the hybrid system and everything. Progress will be developed, guys, and I'll keep you updated on that side of things. But as far as the exhaust, it's got a complete exhaust system. It still has some cats and some other things because it needs to be California legal at the end of the day. But I guarantee you it sounds way different compared to any other LaFerrari. So much louder. It almost sounds like an FXXK. So let's have a look at the exhaust tips. This doesn't have the stealth pack. So some LaFerraris have a stealth pack where the exhaust is black. This is the lighter edition, so it's this cool kind of metallic-y finish. So inside there, you can see the exhaust, and it still has the muffler box, which is right back there. I'll throw up a picture of what this looks like bumperless, actually. You can see that piece of the exhaust right here. So basically, they did some other modifications within the system, so it's still California legal and everything, but man, oh man, does it sound insane. So normally with an exhaust system, there's a few different components ranging from the catalytic converters, the mufflers, and the resonator. So all three of those things are typically in an exhaust system. This one has a little bit less of that originally, so it's got one or two of those things taken out. I'm not going to tell you what because it still needs to remain legal, but guys, it is so loud and it sounds so good. It just has that high pitch like FXXK screaming to it. All right, so what do we know about the Ferrari LaFerrari? Well, we know it has 950 some odd horsepower from the naturally aspirated V12 in there. That's basically the modified 812 superfast engine. It's just kind of the top spec version of that engine. And it also has the 200 and some electric motors that also run the rear wheels. Now, I've been for a ride in this exact same car with the stock exhaust, and we went out in an Agera R as well. So go check that video out right here, guys. It's definitely worth watching if you want to see some real accelerations with this car. What I can say in terms of power is it really feels faster than the Agera R. Now, don't get me wrong, the Koenigsegg should have more power, and I think it does when you're really in the middle of the gear. But when you're actually like going through the gears, like second, third, fourth, fifth, the power gaps on the LaFerrari pretty much don't exist. There's no gaps where you're being thrown because of the gearbox or any lack of power within the full range. This car, because of the electric motors, it's just always torquey. There's also some active aero on the LaFerrari, so you can see these pieces right here. That actually moves up and down depending on the way the car's cornering, so it basically just helps it stick to the ground a little bit better. What I love about when you first open the door on the LaFerrari is you can see the entire carbon monocell. So this entire piece, the chassis right here, all this stuff is bodywork. So this red panel, that's just kind of nothingness, whereas this is the real meat and potatoes of the chassis right here. So right now, I'm just giving you guys a quick tour of the car, and then we're going to go out and drive it on the roads and actually hear what this thing sounds like. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go in the car as passenger. Maybe I'll cross my fingers and maybe ask Mike once he gets here. But I know for sure I'm going to be getting rolling shots right next to the car, so I'll get like some good accelerations, and we always got the trusty GoPro. All right, guys, and here's the man of the hour, Mr. Shin Mike Yin himself, in the Huayra BC that's been recently tuned and has exhaust. So we definitely need to film that one soon. But he's mainly here to collect his LaFerrari. So it's pretty baller. You got to take the BC to get the LaFerrari. I like his style. Dude, you scared the hell out of us. Oh my god, dude. That is the loudest car I've ever freaking heard. So here we go, guys. World's first rev of an exhaust LaFerrari. That is actually ridiculous sounding. Oh, what do you think, Tony? Dude. I'm just filming you to fuck with you, buddy. All right, guys, we are in the Raptor in hot pursuit of the LaFerrari. Hopefully we can keep up. So I'm pretty curious, guys. I've never seen the front storage of a LaFerrari, so might as well take this opportunity and let's have a look if I can open it. Bro, I'm not trying to ruin the LaFerrari. Oh, so there's literally no front storage. Okay, I think that's enough for the battery charger, and that's about it. But no? Okay, not even big enough for the battery charger, guys. The LaFerrari trunk won't even hold its own charger. Here's a closer look at Mike's BC, guys. We know there's only 20 of the BC coupes, but they're actually making 40. Originally, the first 20 are labeled as 1 out of 20, 2 out of 20, and so on. But now that they made all the 20, there's actually out of 40. So the badge will say like 23 out of 40 on the second half of the BC production line. So that's kind of a fun fact. One of my favorite details of the Pagani carbon fiber work is the way that they split the color on these louvers right here. We've got the standard carbon on the left side and the colored carbon on the right side, and it just looks so damn good. So the interior of the LaFerrari is very cool. We have the carbon fiber doors. It's all one-piece carbon fiber panel. It has a few buttons for like the fuel and the electric plug and whatnot. So once we move on from the door, we get the gorgeous interior of the LaFerrari. It's a little bit basic, honestly, compared to a 918 or a P1. You see the 918 interior and it's got the crazy screens and all the holographic buttons and whatnot, whereas this is a lot more simple and almost like a Speciale style interior. The square steering wheel is so cool as well. It's such a unique attribute to this car. I think this and the Aston Martin 177 are pretty much the only recent cars that have a squared off steering wheel. We also have the American flag right in the middle there. Gotta rep the good old USA. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed that little ride, and now I'm gonna go actually inside the LaFerrari. So I'm really excited. We're gonna go visit a really cool man cave that I think you guys have seen before. So I'm about to hop in the loft. Let's go hear what this thing sounds like on the road. All right guys, here we go. LaFerrari, custom exhaust system. Let's see what you do. The sound of the LaFerrari has been completely transformed, guys. Not only does it sound way louder at all times, but there's all these little crackles and like cool little fuel sounds when you let off the throttle. It really sounds like an FXXK. What's cool in race mode with the LaFerrari is you get the digital dash that actually changes. So you can see the RPMs, how they come on digitally from the left to the right. That's just like a race car style, and it's cool that you could change it. All right Alright guys, well we're here at Dan and Jeff's man cave, so I'm not going to film too much. I've already filmed the video on pretty much every car in here at the same spot, so if you guys want to, go click right here and you could see that. I'll just do a very quick overrun of some of the cars that are in the shop today. So starting with the Aston Martin Lagonda, this is actually probably the rarest car in the entire building right now, and I'm saying that when there's multiple Koenigsegg's everywhere. This thing is crazy, guys. Only built for the Middle East market. That's kind of the specialty of the new Aston Martin Lagonda. So this is an Aston Martin. It's based on the Rapide, but it's got the twin-turbo V12, and it's a lot more powerful and a lot more luxurious, and they brand it with the Lagonda name back to the car from the 80s. There's a very good chance that this is probably the only Lagonda in the entire USA. Wouldn't be surprised because they had to be imported all the way from the UAE. And of course we have the Koenigsegg Agera RS and the Trevita CCXR. This one's super cool because of the white carbon. Most of the time people don't really understand that this is white carbon until you really go up close. But once you do, guys, you could totally see this silvery white carbon fiber. It just looks oh so good. Then we have the Valhalla Agera RS right here. And moving on over, we have the Koenigsegg CCX. So here we have the Koenigsegg CCX. Now this one is pretty special because it's actually the last Koenigsegg with a manual 3-pedal gearbox. So this one is in very careful hands. It's been driven plenty of times by like a really good driver. So it's in an enthusiast collection for sure. But it's so cool to see that this is the final Koenigsegg manual gearbox right there. And last but not least, guys, we have the gorgeous Zonda Tricolore. So this is nothing new to you guys who have watched my videos before because this one has been in a couple of my videos. So it's all about that beautiful V12, of course, because it makes that noise that we all know and love. So they had a couple C12s, which was the car before this, and just a raw carbon fiber finish, and that looks pretty cool. But this is the very first blue tinted, and any color, but it just happens to be blue, tinted carbon fiber car that they did. I love the headlight cluster on the Zonda. This one has the smiley face blinker light, so you can't unsee that little smiley face, guys, but the main headlights and the beam, how there's no glass and it's just the individual lights. The Zonda just has so much sex appeal, man. This carbon clamshell. Okay guys, we are back in the LaFerrari. I hope you enjoyed the quick tour of the man cave. I couldn't film too much because it's kind of boring and I've already showed it in a few videos, and this video is mainly about the LaFerrari today. So we're gonna do one final drive, hear as much sound as we possibly can, and then end it at South Coast Plaza Mall and go get some food or something. Hit every tunnel in the LaFerrari, otherwise it's just a criminal sin if you don't downshift and floor it. Did you hear that gunshot? Oh my gosh, dude. One thing that the exhaust and tune made a big difference on is the crackle and what happens when you let off the throttle. So normally with the LaFerrari, there's not really any snap, crackle, or pops when you let off the throttle. It's kind of boring relatively, but with the tune and with the new exhaust on this car, it sounds ridiculous. I mean, you guys heard the gunshot in that tunnel. This thing just, it came alive with the new system. Oh man, guys, we have come to the wrong mall. These people do not know what's about to hit them right now. I hear at least 4 alarms right now. All right, guys. This is how you take a LaFerrari to the mall. You can hear that, the beautiful sounds of straight-piped LaFerrari. All right, so we're coming back from shopping. Let's see how many bags we could fit in the front of the LaFerrari. So we looked earlier, it looked like we couldn't even fit the charger in there. Let's see, you gotta lift the carbon case. Oh, it's already like half full with toolkits and owner's manuals. Look at that, we have 1 pair of shoes that's totally full in the LaFerrari. That's all we could do. The other bag, that's going in the passenger seat. Security is upset. They've arrived on their bikes, guys. Heads up. No revving. Okay, they're cool. They're happy. It's always good when security's happy about the loft, guys. So guys, we found out the perfect RPM to get that crackle. That right there is around 4,000 RPM. So when you let off at 4K, hold on, we'll demonstrate real quick. Okay guys, well I think that's gonna do it for my time in the aftermarket fully exhaust customized and tuned LaFerrari. So thank you guys so much for watching. If this video doesn't deserve a like or a subscribe, I'm really not sure what does. I mean, this is a world first and you guys got to hear it in its entirety. So definitely give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.